I don't know. Every woman in my family loved this next man, Carlos Baerga, from the iconic 90s Indians teams. We give him a round of applause. Carlos, man. Man, it's great to talk to you, man. I'm first of all, I'm going to say, man, y'all a hard act to follow. Man, do you know there's people that they are never letting y'all go? They compare every team to you guys. Can you just talk about, man, just off the top, the era? Like, did y'all know you was gonna be that good, or what was the feeling and the vibe? Because we always felt like that team just knew they was gonna be good, or that team just knew they was coming back. Like, what was it like in the locker room? When did you know that you was gonna have a special group?
First of all, God bless you. It's an honor to be with you guys today. In 1993, when they start bringing, this kind of player like Omar Vizquel, Kenny Lofton, and they start bringing, they bring the new ballpark. I believe that was the time that we believed that we have the great opportunity, to play against anybody. And I remember this new ballpark, the way we care about the game and stuff like that, and go to the Jacob Field. It used to be the Jacob Field. I remember that first game that when we beat Randy Johnson, that he was throwing a no-hitter through 7 innings, and we came back and win in the 12th. From that day on, it was a special moment for us. To have Kenny Lofton, Omar Vizquel, myself, Albert Bell. They bring Eddie Murray, the guy that, Hall of Famer player. And we have Manny Ramirez, young player, Gene Tommy, Sandy Alomar. That, when they signed a multi-year contract, that was the best thing that happened, because now we went to the field to play relaxed. And that was a great move from John Hart. That was a GM.
Carlos, as of lately, we've been talking about the Guardians, I will almost say Indians, the Guardians fans' attendance and how it's not been high as of lately. Did you feel that you guys got the support and love from the city that y'all think y'all deserved back then?
Well, back then, what we did when they bring this new ballpark, we went 455 days in a row. Sell out. That was a record in the big leagues, and it was something special. But it was because we put a team in the field that they believe they have the opportunity to win. They bring Otto Hershiser, they bring Dennis Martinez together with Charles Nagy. We got Jose Mesa closing the game and stuff like that. So, and then we I don't know if you guys remember how many comeback games, winning in the last inning. Yeah. It was something very, very special moment for the fans, and they don't even want to leave the game. They know that we was down for 3 rounds or 2 rounds. And we always come through, like Manny hit a homer against Dennis Eckersley. Albert Bell hit a homer and Troy Percival in the last inning. Jim Tommy hit a homer to win a game. Paul Sorrento. It was an unbelievable time that we have together. And then in 1995, what we went through with our team, and then we went to the playoff, and we beat the Seattle Mariners, Randy Johnson, to go to the World Series. And when we came back home, and see all those fans waiting for us at the airport, we say, wow. You can imagine we win the World Series against the Atlanta Braves? Cleveland was going to be like 3 days off for everybody. Party in Cleveland. That was something that they still in my mind, because I believe that we have the best hitting club in the building. I'm going to say something to you guys, talking about that team in 1995. Right now, we got 4 Hall of Fames in that lineup. 4 Hall of Fame. Kenny Lofton is going to be a Hall of Fame. Albert Bell is going to be a Hall of Fame. Omar Vizquel is going to be a Hall of Fame. So if Manny don't went through what he went through, with the PFD, we have 9 guys in the Hall of Fame. That's crazy, in that team. So there's no lineup in the big leagues. There's no lineup in the big leagues. They have on 1 year all those kind of players. So that was going to be a special. And then we're going to have Otto Hershiser, Dennis Martinez. Then they're going to go to the Hall of Fame later on. I believe that was a special team that we have in Cleveland.
Well, Carlos, and to your point, I mean, I think those times are unrivaled here in Cleveland. I mean, for those that have followed you guys for the duration of that time, it was a special time here in the city. Let me ask you this. Now, we fast forward to 2022. What's your interpretation of what the Guardians are doing now? because there's no longer 455 sellouts
Right.
going on down there, and the direction
Yeah.
has changed. And you know the market. What do you think? What do you think the position that they're in now, and what do you think the future holds for the Guardians?
I'm telling you right now, I'm very surprised, and I know the front office too. You know that these teams are playing the way they play. We are one game back. Look, you show him right there to the fans. One game back in a division that you had Chicago, that you have Minnesota. Do you see those two teams? You know, they make big trades to bring pitchers, to bring big hitters, to the lineup. But we have a lot of young players. We got Kwan. Right now, Kwan have 18 games hitting streak. We got Rosario, Ahmed Rosario, that we got in a trade last year with Jimenez that made the All-Star game. We was the last second baseman, me and Robbie Alomar, the last second baseman to make the All-Star game. So Andre Jimenez made the All-Star game this year as a second baseman. The best move that the Cleveland Indians made was signing Jose Ramirez for $200 million and keeping here in Cleveland. I believe that being the biggest move the Cleveland Indians make, because now we have a star, and now the players follow him. This guy is a sample for this player. The way he cares about the game, the way he prepared for the game, I think changed the atmosphere on this club. And you know what? The organization say, we're not going to bring nobody. We're going to let the kids play. And that's what they're doing.
Carlos, you talk about the people you guys had in that lineup. I look at the personalities, though. You look at, Eddie Murray, Albert Bell, Kenny Lofton, Dave Winfield. Now, Dave Winfield, he's a jovial guy, right? But Dennis Martinez looked like he was all business, too. How was it being in the locker room? Because you have the inside knowledge on him. Albert didn't really, he didn't really speak to the media all that much. Kenny, as he's gotten older, hasn't really spoken to the media much. What was it like with those players? Because a lot of what we know, we just know from the field. How was it to be in the locker room? What kind of locker room guys were there?
Very, very special. We had fun. That ballpark, coming to the ballpark, it was a fun time for us because it was a family. And bringing Dennis, bringing Sarcer, bringing Winfield and Eddie Murray, that's what we need. We need something like that so they can help us out. When we are going through the wrong direction, they always keep us straight. They remind us, hey, let's go. We have to focus. We need to be prepared, because sometimes you get comfortable and you think that you have it because you got a talent, but you don't have. You can have talent, but you have to prepare yourself. And that's the biggest thing about baseball. If you don't prepare yourself right at 4 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, nothing's going to happen at 7 o'clock. So that's some teachers how to do it, because we were so young. I was 21 years old. I was, a young player. Kenny Lofton was a young player. All my Biscos was a young player. Even Albert Bell, they put some numbers like that, but we never had the opportunity to play in the playoff. That was going to be the first time for us. So I think they help us out, prepare ourselves, to be in the World Series.
Mikey, our producer McNuggets has a question for you, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos, thanks for joining us. It's impossible to have you on and not ask about this, but you're one of the only players in MLB history to homer from both sides of the plate in the same inning. How'd you do it? What's the memory of that? Because it is an unbelievable accomplishment.
That was a special day, April 8, 1993, against the Yankees. It was something that I never forget about. Hitting the first homer against Steve Howe with 3 men on base. That was a grand slam, the first one. And the second one was after we scored so many runs. The Alvaro Espinosa hit a homer before me. Listen to this. They throw to my head. We almost got in a fight. They separate everybody. That's what happened. They throw to my head to hit me. We almost got in a fight. They come back. Everybody went to the dugout. They come back, and the first pitch that he threw, I hit a homer through center field, and that was a record like that. But I never thought it was a record, because there was so many great switch hitters that played this game. Even we have one, Eddie Murray, Chili Davis, Mickey Mantle. So it was so many great hitters that went through the years in baseball that I never thought there was a record. And when they put in the scoreboard, that was a major league record the first time that happened. That was the biggest moment that I have, with the Cleveland Indians, and I'm never gonna forget about that.
Well, coming up, I played baseball in high school, and you never rarely ever see switch hitters. Given like an insight to some of the maybe the novice fans or fans that don't know this, when did you know you had the ability to switch hit? Is that something you just born with, or do you just kind of work at it and you just figured out I can hit left-handed or right-handed? Is that something you developed or just God-given ability?
Let me tell you what happened. My father went.
Maybe dealing with some internet connectivity issues here.
Right.
How about Carlos's memory, though?
Oh, man.
He's
He's like April 8th, 1993.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
oh,
crazy.
right?
I need him to come
I
back.
can't remember last week.
I need him to come back. I got to ask him a question. I didn't call Jay out on
We got Carlos back.
All right, there we go.
You got me now?
There
we go.
Okay,
There we go.
I'm here. So so my father, when I was 8 years old, the first thing that he said to me, I want you to hit from both sides. When I was 8 years old, you know why? Because I don't want you, when you get to the big leagues, he already say the words to me, you're going to get to the big leagues.
Right.
I don't want you to, the manager see you down against righty or against lefty. So I want you to play every day in the big leagues. So he take care of that to me, and we practice every day. You have to practice both sides the same way. You cannot be going like today I'm going to hit left-handed because no, it's a righty. No, you have to hit one side, one time from the left side, one time from the right side, and prepare yourself every day because it's hard. It's hard to do it, to maintain it. Not just hard, it's to maintain it. You have to be really good for that.
Carlos, I done messed around and called Jay Crawford out. Jay's not here with us today, but I need to know give me some tips. Because he's going to be pitching and I'm going to be hitting. So give me some tips because you was a great hitter. What are some tips that you can give me so I can take him over the fence?
He's over the fence.
Well, the first thing you have to do, you have to have confidence. You have to be kind of cocky. You know who I like to watch? Jose Ramirez remind me myself. That kind of player that I was. I wasn't afraid. If you are a tall guy or short guy, no matter what, I'm going to believe that I'm going to hit you. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, try to go and do some soft stuff, under, do some tee times and stuff like that, and get some practice. You have to prepare yourself. If you don't prepare yourself, it's going to be hard for you to, to develop something good. So I believe that, that's the one. Don't worry, get some swing, prepare yourself, and you're going to be okay. But you have to be mentally strong because every day there's a new pitcher that want to beat you in there.
Well, Carlos, the problem is Tyvis has chained up bat speed.
Whoa. Carlos, hold on, wait a minute. Let me let you know something. I'm going to let you know something. I just did a softball event like a couple weeks ago.
We have video. Don't worry. We'll the video.
I was like the MVP.
That's like
it was my performance.
Here, the problem, you said softball. That's a curse word to a baseball player. You playing softball.
So you like the soft stuff. You like the soft stuff.
No. I played baseball all the way until high school, and then I stopped. But I was helping out a friend, and he was doing a softball event. So, I came out of retirement, and I still look pretty good, actually.
Here's the video, Carlos. You can see it for yourself.
Okay, let me see. I have to see this. Wow. Look at the swing, guys. The first thing.
Look at that.
Ow.
The swing was so good, you froze him.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Run it out.
Awful.
No.
Awful. Let's get down to the Bring him up full screen. Let's get this off.
Hey, OG said, get him out of here. Hey, wipe him down. We're not even going to show your case. Don't show his case. Get him out of here.
There's one more swing coming.
They trying to save him, Carlos. They trying to save his film work.
So did he work? He's hitting, or he's a commentator now?
He doing.
I do it all.
What's going on? Oh, right here. Okay.
So
Okay, he got a nice swing.
Thank you.
I gotta admit it. He
I
got a nice
appreciate
swing.
yes.
He got a nice swing.
Carlos,
And he looked like, and he
Going
looked like
down.
the baseball. He got the body of the baseball player too. So you know,
yeah. It's not bad.
I'm just saying. I
that's a good
appreciate
one.
that. Thank you.
Give young fella a round of applause. He's happy in himself. But Carlos, here's a question for you. So, you know, obviously it's a new dynamic here. You play for the Indians. It's now called the Guardians.
Yes.
Which one do you prefer?
Good one.
They trying to get you in
Don't
trouble,
tell me that question, my friend. Wow. You know what? I work for the Cleveland Indians, for the Guardians. I work for the Guardians, so I need to be nice. You know what? I had to love the Indians because, you know, I play, you know, through the Indian stuff like that, and I work with the Indians. But now I'm working with the Guardians, and this is something that when you put the uniform on, you work for the Cleveland. It's not the name of the Indians or the Guardians. It's the Cleveland, the city. Mm-hmm. And that's why, you know, we put the uniform, and that's why I believe, you know, that we have to be, you know, over, you know, the exciting of
Lost.
Well, here. I know that there are a lot of people here sympathetic.
the change of the name.
Oh. There he is. Yeah, and I agree. You have to be sympathetic to both sides of it, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, as a kid growing up here, not a kid, but as a young adult growing up here, that Indians team in the '90s, awesome. And you saw them everywhere. You saw the guys there. I would see Kenny Lofton everywhere in this town. Yes, I would, right? And you were embedded in the fabric of the city of Cleveland. And that's what I think most people appreciate about that team, because we were just riding the ride. Hell, we hadn't been nowhere near where you guys had been in a long time around here. It was just fun to be a part of it.
It was a great time. It was a great time. I really loved, to play with that team. And I remember when I came back again in 1999, that we went to the playoffs. So I believe, I know that we lost in 2016. We was 3 games up, and then we lost against Chicago. But I believe, that what our organization is doing right now, we're going to the right direction. Right now we're going with young players, but I believe that next year maybe they bring a veteran player too, the way we did it, in 1995, to help this club to go to the next level. And I believe that it's going to happen like that. I love our pitching staff is one of the best in the league. We have Bieber, Plisak, Mackenzie, Civali, Quantrill. And then we have the best closer in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Classes.
Yeah. We
have the best closer. So I believe, we're going to the right direction, and I hope that we can get the last out, the 27 out, and we can, go up and say we are champion again.
I'm glad you said that, Carlos. Were you kind of frustrated that they didn't make a big trade at the deadline?
Not frustrated, because I work for the organization, and I was in Boston a couple of weeks ago, and they bring the sponsor. I'm ambassador for the team too, so they bring the sponsor to Boston, and Tito Francona was doing a thing with us in there, and I asked him that question. I said, Tito, did we gonna get a big bat? And they say we might not. But I believe what we have right here, right now, I think this is going to be the thing that we're going to keep going. And Tito is a guy that, that he has so much experience. He knows how to take care of these young players. And I believe, he's going to take it to the next level.
Carlos, one of the things that we've seen is the Latin explosion of, I would say probably starting back in the 80s and early 90s. Can you tell us what that's like, the baseball life is like in Latin America? Here we have other competing sports like football and basketball, and other things that we can do. But in Latin America, baseball is still king. What was it like growing up there, and what was it like the game as a young kid, and how you developed?
The thing about the Latin American players, when you see like a player like Jose Ramirez, we play we play every day. We, in Cleveland, You know, when November comes, it starts snowing, December and January. In Puerto Rico, like where I'm from, we play all those years. We have a Caribbean World Series. We have a Winter Ball League in there, so we play all year round. We don't rest. We rest maybe a month or something like that, and that's why you see so many great players coming from Dominican, Venezuela, Mexico, and Puerto Rico, because you play because work in the things that you need to work, for the season. And that's why I always, when I play winter ball, I come back to spring training ready to go to play baseball. And that's why I recommend, as a ex-player, I recommend the organization, when you have a player that have talent, they need to work in the little things, send him to winter ball, because it's going to be the best thing that's going to happen to him.
That's right. That's how you get better out here.
I will say this, and before we let you go, I do want to say, Carlos, one of the things that I enjoyed best about y'all was your swag. Yeah, to see black and brown people on the field with the jewelry, with the shoes, with the facial hair. I said, "Oh, listen, I could do that." They in the hood, we was wearing it just like that. Major League Baseball cats, and we started wearing them so much that they started having to blur them out on the music videos, and we was putting them to the back like y'all was doing it, man. Did y'all know y'all was cool back in the day? Did you know you was cool?
we don't know. We just use it, to use it. But right now, that's everybody using it right now. Now that the player have the big leg, jewelry. I used to have it. I used to have one. But it wasn't that big.
They got the big Cuban chains on.
But right now, they don't care how big it is. They play with a big thing like, I think of him or his daughter or something like that, in the neck, and that's years change, and everybody are doing a different a different way. But I believe it's a swag, like you say.
Last question to you, Carlos. Out of all the players on the Guardians roster, who's the one that you're most intrigued by?
Well, I have to say Jose Ramirez. He's the captain. He's if Jose Ramirez got a base hit, or got a double, or got an RBI, or hit a homer, our team changed completely. He's a guy that changed, our organization, signing him, like what I said to you guys, in January or something like that, in April, when we signed him, that was the best move that the Cleveland Indians made this year.
McNuggets, we're going to do some memories really quick.
Yeah, we asked the internet for some of their favorite Carlos Baerga memories, and whenever we ask the internet a question, it's brought to you by PCC Airfoils. Are you looking for a job with career advancement and great benefits? PCC Airfoils is a leading manufacturer in Northeast Ohio. All locations of PCC Airfoils in Eastlake, Mentor, Wickliffe, and Minerva are hiring for all positions starting at $18 and up. Plus, get full benefit packages, paid time off, and a signing bonus. Apply online at precast.com/careers to learn more. And here's Bull.
PC, 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 PCC, PC, 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 PCC Airfoils.
Carlos, you don't have to understand that whatsoever. You don't have to understand it whatsoever.
You're out there having too much fun.
Okay.
But we did ask the internet some of their favorite memories from your legendary Indians career. Let's take Tagboard here for the first one. Jack says homering from both sides of the plate in the same inning against the Yankees, which we've already talked about. Anthony, let's punch right to the next one.
The best moment.
That's the best. Okay. How about Daniel Spitzer, off-field, him passing out autographed headshots for Halloween? Is that true?
Yeah. I love to be with the fans. I love to be, anytime that I don't have anything to do. I always say that, we are playing this game because the fans come to the ballpark, and why not to sign an autograph or take a picture with them? That's something special. I always say, don't do that. In any sport, you're gonna have problems.
We have another memory like that, but first we have this one from Toby Tyler. Having 200-plus hits, 20-plus homers, 100-plus RBIs, and batting .300 in back-to-back seasons. The last second baseman to have those stats was Roger Hornsby. Elite company, Carlos.
Yes, I'm the first one to do it in the American League, and then the only one. It's still the only one in the American League to do it. I did it 2 years in a row. I did it my first year. About the last year that I did it, you know what happened? I was in the hospital for a week. I have an infection in my leg. They got, they got swelled up. So I spent almost a week, and I had to ask the doctor because I need one more hit to do the record again. So I need to ask the doctor, give me a permission to go and hit, and I come back to the hospital. You know what? They give me a permission. They put I went to get the base. I hit a bunt. The ball stayed right in the line. I got to first base, and from there, I went back to the hospital for 5 more days. That's what happened for me to get that record. That was something unbelievable that I'm never going to forget about. That was a big moment. But you know what? I was going. That was amazing. But I was going the year after that. I did it 2 years in a row. The year after, I was putting some numbers unbelievable. July 19, we went to the strike that we don't play anymore that year, 1994. Yep. We was in first place, but I was having the best year of my career. I already have 90 homers, 80 RBIs in July.
Ooh.
In July, that was something special. So it was going to be the best year. I was hitting 324, if I don't remember, 334, something like that. So that was going to be like, having another year like that. So it was going to be special.
Yeah, let's just say you're on pace for 200 home runs and 600 RBIs that season, and no one can prove us wrong.
Yeah.
And the last memory here from the internet comes from Damon. Carlos Baerga autographed the ball on a piece of paper back for me in 1995. It was at a luncheon for the most outstanding students in the area. I believe his wife was with him. Carlos and his wife had the iciest bracelets, rings, and watch on his wrist I ever seen.
I told you.
That drip.
I told you. I seen it. Hey, shout out to Damon. Hey, I saw it too.
That drip.
Yeah. That was special, and at that time we everybody have it. Like right now that it's bigger. Right now, like when you see David Ortiz in the ceremony, you see with that big necklace that we have and stuff like that, the watch, everything is you know how it is. It's a new style now.
Yeah. Carlos, thank you so much for coming in. You were supposed to be in studio. The next time you in town, you got to come in, and we got to get you in here, man.
That's
we got to
right.
definitely get you in.
I'm gonna be there with you guys. Thank you for having me. Go Guardians, okay? Let's go to the bumper match. We need you guys. We need you guys at the bumper in the last run.
That's right.
Cleveland legend Carlos Baerga. Man, let me tell you that, man. That was, man.
It was hot during that time.
Man,